Hello, my name is RJ Soderberg, and I would like to inform you on the major problem with hydraulic fracturing for natural gas. This process is generally known as fracking. It's an unrefined method of extracting from the Earth's crust pockets of methane gas from shale basins that are deep within the Earth. The process has proven to be pretty environmentally disastrous. On a lot of levels, has absolutely killed off acres of livestock. There are human casualties involved, and as well as unimaginable sickness spanning generations of families. If you don't know about the fracking process, I hope to shine some light on the subject and the growing problem. If you do know a little bit about the fracking, I hope to provide some clarification on the issue and possibly help with providing you a solution of getting involved with fixing the problem. My interest was sparked by watching a documentary called Gaslands. Within this documentary, they explain everything that is going on wrong with hydraulic fracturing and the cover-up involved. I hope that you'll watch this at some point. For now, I'll just explain some of the finer points of the documentary and the substantiated research that I did to kind of make sure it was on the up and up. The process is like this. A company acquires land. A lot of times they swindle it from property owners that are located directly underneath the shale basin. They create these supersized hydraulic pumps, and the ideal application is to basically very slightly fracture the Earth's crust and to a point where they can controllably, naturally harvest this natural gas for consumer consumption. Now imagine poking a overfilled balloon with a needle. It's going to burst into pieces. That's kind of the process that we're dealing with, and that balloon is Earth. The natural gas companies claim for this to be a safe process of extracting clean energy from the Earth. There is evidence out the wazoo to prove the contrary. They have two main problems that are going on with this hydraulic fracturing process. One is the policy and procedures for safety, and the other one is the engineering of the components of the hydraulic pumps. The hydraulic pumps themselves are actually malfunctioning within the first year of operation. The circuitry has a very low voltage, and they're causing a complete operation system failure. When this failure happens, they're leaching thousands of gallons of volatile chemicals into the Earth, which in turn gets into our groundwater. The effects have killed off all agriculture in the area. The extreme environmental problems, obviously, human casualty, and things that I had mentioned earlier. People can even light their tap water on fire with how many chemicals that are in the groundwater from this hydraulic fracturing process and this breakdown in the components. And as well, anytime you have an engine running, there's combustible liquid. And when you have a breakdown, you have explosions. There's plenty of these explosions, one of which was in North Carolina in January of 2014. I strongly advise you to go look that one up. It's scary. The engineering of these currently used hydraulic pumps is a serious problem that needs addressing. The policies and procedures have festered the problem. The safety that was put in place by the EPA has been bypassed by none other than our wonderful Vice President, Dick Cheney, that was involved in the George W. Bush administration. He provided a loophole into the Safe Drinking Water Act that allowed companies, natural gas companies, to operate with impunity. It made them tons of money, but put millions of Americans in harm's way. There are hundreds of fracking sites in America. To give you some perspective on the issue, and as I mentioned before, we're downstream of one in North Carolina. France and Belgium have actually even outlawed the process because of all the problems that it's had. I hope this information concerns you as much as it did me and angers you to the point to seek out a solution. Those of you so inclined, I urge you to watch the Gaslands documentary and or check out a website called AmericansAgainstFracking.com and get involved. The fight is taking place for clean energy, and you can either do nothing and be a part of the problem or speak up for a solution. Voices need to be heard and action needs to take place for healthy, clean energy.